Welcome to the last Video Game Chronicles episode in standard definition. This will be the last time I do a standard definition video with this camera for the Video Game Chronicles. And that is because it has one big problem that I will explain in a future video. I got these 3 plug and plays between November and December of last year. One I bought with my own money. 2 of them I got as a Christmas present. The first unboxings I will do, and I'm going to unbox all of these. But the first 2 unboxings will be the Super Nintendo Classic and the Super Famicom Mini. Alright, this is the Super Nintendo Classic Edition. I'm going to be unboxing the Super Famicom Mini next. And I was able to get this at Walmart. There was only one left. And I was surprised that they had it. So this of course is the front. You've probably seen it through numerous YouTube videos and possibly even through images on Google. So here is back of the box. Many of these games I have played, because many of these games I used to play during my childhood, because I originally got the Super Nintendo back in 1991. Some of these games I have. Others I've rented but never even bothered to buy them. And now some of these games, as a result, if you want to get physical copies of these, it's pretty hard. And that of course is what the back of the box looks like. And this also includes Star Fox 2. And I can see right there that it says it can be unlocked by completing the first stage of Star Fox. Now some of these games I'll probably play for the Video Game Chronicles gameplay, since some of these games I have not played. You'll find out the ones that I have not played once I do them. Now that you've seen the back and the front, I'm going to open this. Oh, and here's one of the sides. And this one shows the Super NES console, even though that's the Super NES Classic Edition. And this side tells about the Super NES Classic Controller. And of course it's in different languages. I'm just looking in the one that has English. And of course this side has the number for this unit. And this of course is the bottom of the box. This tells about what's included, and a warning telling you if you've had epilepsy or seizures. Just tells you all about it. And it tells you that it takes HDMI. Now there is a thing where you can pull to get it open. I'm going to do that right now. If I can get... Well, technically that was the old tagline for when the Super Nintendo came out around 1991. Now you're playing with superpower. Now that I got it out, of course, it includes a poster, and there is warning information included in the warranty. I'll set that aside for now. And of course, I take this out. Sorry about the zoom. This is the Super Nintendo Classic. Okay. And of course, I see that there's a AC adapter. Now there is a okay, the cords for the controllers. Same as the NES Classic Edition. And of course, there is two controllers. Set those over there. Now flip this over. And that is a USB connector for the power. And finally, the HDMI to hook up to your TV. Now I'm going to see what the Super Nintendo Classic looks like. Bring this up. If we can get it out with one hand. Okay. There we go. Okay, and that's the power. The reset button. You both slide. As you can see. And the reset. Of course, the eject. And the cartridge door. You can't push. Yeah. They are just part of the design. And of course, the HDMI port and the USB port for power. And the European version is the same design as the Super Famicom Mini, except it'll have Super Nintendo on it. But this and the European one have the same games. Now for this, I don't know how to pull this out. I assume. Okay, there. Alright. Oh, okay, I get it now. Okay. And those are the controller ports. Okay. Put that back if I can. Alright. Jeez. Okay. Now I'm going to see what the controller looks like. If I can get it out. Okay. Feels the same. Feels the same as a Super NES controller. Okay, let me feel the buttons. They don't feel too bad. They feel like the Super Nintendo controller. Of course, the L and R buttons. And I assume these work on the NES Classic Edition and possibly on Nintendo Wii's and Wii U's. Yeah. That's nice and clicky. But I will say that the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom mini controllers are going to be color coded, unlike the Super Nintendo that we got here. But they do feel nice. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the unboxing of the Super Nintendo Classic. Now for the unboxing of the Super Famicom Mini. This is the Super Famicom Mini, and the packaging is quite different from the Super Nintendo Mini. And of course, the designs are how they're supposed to be, because what Nintendo of Japan did was design it like the Super Famicom box. Yeah, as you can see. And here is the back. This is the only thing that wasn't on the back when the Super Famicom originally came out. This tells you the list of games, and it tells you what you get. Well, I think this actually tells you how to hook it up. Of course, there is warning guidelines on this side. I know because I translated it. And what was on the original Famicom box on the back was technically a piece of styrofoam. It was like a cover originally for the box, along with a big piece of styrofoam. Alright, open this up if I can get it. If I can get it. There we go. Alright. Okay. Probably. Now, I do apologize. I had a problem getting this out. So I needed both my hands just to get the packaging out. And it's going to be pretty similar to the Super Nintendo Classic, except with a couple of things. This is just a small booklet, I think, but I'm not sure. And it looks like I didn't get the points for Nintendo Rewards this time. Oh well. And of course, this is the Super Famicom Mini. If I can even get it out with one hand. It's harder with one hand than with two. Okay. Yeah, and just like with the Super Nintendo Classic, it's pretty small, but a different design. And of course, that's the power. The reset button's right there. The eject doesn't work, and this doesn't work. That's the power light. Okay. So we got two controllers, just like with the Super Nintendo Classic. The buttons are going to be like how it was with the Super Famicom. Yep. The Super Famicom, of course, had colored buttons, and the Super Nintendo had purple kind of buttons. I can't think of the color for the Super Nintendo colored buttons, but that's what they look like, the Super Famicom controller. And all that there's left is USB and the HDMI cord. There is no AC adapter, but that's alright, because with TVs nowadays, you can hook this up to your TV and it will power the Super Famicom Mini. Now here is what the Super Nintendo and Super Famicom Mini look side by side. Now on the backs, of course, there is marks, so that way you can pull these things out. So that way you get the controller ports, as you can see here. This part is all a design. It's just for design, and that's it. You can't plug your Super Nintendo or Super Famicom controllers in it. And the Super Famicom is the same. And of course, you have to push on this to unlock the controller ports. And this is the first time I'm opening this, and that's where the controllers plug in. Now you know how they look side by side. How do they look when it comes to gameplay? And you will see gameplay when I do my themed month for the Super Nintendo Classic and the Super Famicom Mini, since some games I have not played yet. Because I'm going to be doing a Video Game Chronicles gameplay of every single game on the Super Famicom and Super Nintendo that I have not played. And that will most likely be for March. After that, I will do my review, and I will let you know how I feel about both the Super Nintendo Classic and the Super Famicom Mini. But next time, I am going to do an unboxing of the Atari Flashback 8 Gold Deluxe, and that will be in high definition. I will catch you next time for that particular episode. Peace out. Happy gaming.